I
What's
can't
going
hear.
on, bro? Yeah, I had the mute button on. Sometimes things happen, and technical difficulties they happen. But now you can hear me. And like I was saying, we are here to talk about openly. We're here to talk spoiler a lot, Bel Air. And I got my man Mayhem Madness in the building here. How you feeling, brother? What's up?
I'm good, man. Ready to talk about this. I've,
Yeah,
I've
man.
been
Go ahead.
I've
Go
been
ahead.
saying I've been saying how I feel about this show, so I'm ready to talk about it finally.
Yeah, man. Listen, I from jump, I was all in on this. I was all in on this. Um, and you were on the fence. You didn't even want to jump in. You were like, nah, this ain't your thing. This is not your thing. Fuck that. You all about the original. You were like admin about being about all about the original. And I was like, nah, I got to give it a shot. One, because I wanted to create some content and talk about it, and two, because I was really, 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 really excited about it because I like the dramatic take. But you you stepped up. I was proud. I was a proud friend. You stepped up. You said, "Yo, I'm gonna check it out." And you watched the first three. And how did you feel after the first three? How did you feel?
After the first three,
Yeah.
still it a little bit better, but not enough to be like, I'm in it. So it was a little it eased it over better, but I was like, I still had my thoughts about how I feel about the show. But it was made it watchable, I guess.
And for me, I was open minded from jump. Like I don't know what it was, and I really went into the first three like, yo, they really served up the essence of Fresh Prince for me, anyways, in a way that I felt like it worked in a dramatic tale. Like I no flaws. I'm not gonna say no flaws, but it was better than I expected it to be. Some flaws were, I wasn't fond of the Carlton character, which a lot of people are not fond of the Carlton character, and I wasn't a fan of the Lisa character. Not so much who they casted, but her backstory and things like that. So going into the third episode, the first three episodes, I was, although it had its minor issues, I was still on board with it. Was there
Yeah.
anything about the first three episodes that almost made you not want to come back, or were you like when you watched them, you were like, okay, I can give this a chance?
Mm, no, like I was honestly the only reason I was going into it because I just after the first three, I'm trying to think what was the end of the third. Yes.
uh,
It was the ending. It was the
that was the
clip.
basketball,
It was
the
the ending of the
basketball.
third. Ending of the third one was the only reason that I wanted to go into it. Is how that ended and how after seeing how Will and how after how Carlton like looked at Will, yeah, it made me want to go back.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, yo, the like I said, they captured the essence of the relationship between Will and Carlton. Although I don't like the casting for him, I feel like his acting brings a lot to the story. And that ending when Will, won the basketball game, and then the family, the Banks, they kind of, they bailed on Carlton. They weren't there for him in his corner. Like that ended on a good note where you thought, oh, this thing is about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy. So, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. But other than that, like, who are your favorite characters right now? Like, from one, two, three, who are you looking forward to the most to follow as this story continues? If you stick around for it.
There's really only one person I'm really
Uh,
sticking
it's,
around to see.
it's probably the same person for me, too.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not really. I really. I really could care. I don't know. I have a different feel about it. So the only really person I'm sticking forward for is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, yo, G is a G, bro.
Yeah.
G is he's different, man. He's built different from everybody on this show. And I feel like that's wacky. I feel like it's really wacky, but at the same time, it just kind of just works. And it's the only refreshing thing outside of the new Will that really keeps me watching. And you don't even get a lot of Jeffrey, not even in the first 3
You don't. He's
episodes.
here and there, but when you do get him, you feel like there's like you don't feel like how he was the old. You don't feel like how he was in Fresh Prince. You feel like there's something more to Jeffrey that like him and Uncle Phil seem too
Yeah.
close. They seem like they're too
Too
like
close?
too not too close, not too close. I
Yeah.
didn't mean like that. Not too close,
Yeah.
but they seem like it's not a master and butler situation with them. They didn't
Yeah.
come into this like this. It feels like they came up like boys, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you on. Just look out for me." Or like Jeffrey maybe like, or he maybe knew Jeffrey family or something that somewhere it looks like he knew him before and put him on. It doesn't look like went through the whole hiring process of hiring a butler and everything. No, it looks like they've known each other for a while.
Yeah, like I get this sense that like they like kind of they have a brotherhood, and I'm interested in that story. Like I want to know. I hope we get like some origin from Jeffrey and Philip and how they kind of link together, because that right there, other than like the Will stuff, that's the most interesting thing for me about this series. Like I only really care about what's going on with Jeffrey and then a little bit about what's going on with Will. I feel like everything else is a little bit extra and a little bit wild, and we're gonna get into that. But let's talk about Bel Air episode 4, titled Canvas, which comes in right after, Will makes the game throwing shot. Carlton's feeling away like he always is feeling away in every episode. What did you feel about the tone? Did you feel like it feels like the first 3 episodes were the pilot? Like maybe they were kind of filmed at the same time, as a pilot, and then they went forward with 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Did you feel like they matched? What was your initial feeling after watching episode 4, or going into episode 4, I should say?
Going into episode 4, I wanted to see how, especially how 3 ended. I wanted to see how Carlton, because that ending of 3,
Mm-hmm.
it basically looked like Carlton wanted some blood. It basically looked like that.
Facts.
And then by the beginning of 4, I don't know. It kind of threw me, because by the beginning of 4, I'm like, all right, he's here playing chess with his dad. Like there's no smoke or nothing with him. I'm like, this is kind of like, I don't know. I got, like I said, I got different feelings about this show.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it like plays tug of war, like it goes back and forth, and you'll see that more. And like I don't want to talk too much about these other episodes, but like you'll see, like it feels like it's playing tug of war, episode to episode. Because I get what you're feeling. How like when the episode starts, it's kind of like laid back. Carlton's in a good space. He's getting the attention from his dad that he's wanted. There were really no repercussions from the actual ending of 3. It was just kind of like it just kind of picks up on a new day, and everybody's turned the cheek, and they're starting a new day. Is that the vibe? That's the vibe you're getting, right?
Yeah, like the family didn't
Yeah.
even say anything to Carlton about like, hey, we're sorry we missed your game or anything. And nothing. There was nothing there.
Nothing.
Nothing like, hey, sorry, son. Like it didn't do any of that. It just like skipped right off. It's like it wiped it clean, and then it was the next day. Like he's sitting there playing chess with his dad, and everything's cool. Like
that's a damn good point. And then
nothing happened.
And then they go into the story, the little storyline about them doing the campaign run, where they're gonna go door to door and get people to register to vote. And then you kind of start seeing the flaws of the family. Like I talked about this in my non-spoiler review about the flaws of the family. Do you agree that a little bit of the orange or a little bit of the onion was being peeled back around the family? Because I felt like that. I felt like you were starting to see a little bit of the flaws between Vivian and Philip.
And Vivian and Hillary, and how Hillary,
Hillary
no,
too.
even in 3, you were starting to see that, how like the mom, like Vivian, just like she wants Hillary to do everything her way.
Yeah, that's
And like
annoying.
when Hillary's starting to do it on her own, the mom's kind of like kind of getting like, like, oh, you could did it this way that I'm telling you to do. It's just, you're starting to see, like you say, you're starting to see the flaws. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know there was this much flaws in this family. I always thought they were good. Like,
listen, we were blinded, man. They had the wool over our eyes. They didn't want us to see the realness of this family. Listen, when you were opposing this whole thing, and the more I kept watching, I was seeing your point of view on how,
I'm still opposing it.
You're still opposing it?
I'm still opposing it.
So hold on. So what you're telling me right now is you're give me a percentage of where you are in feeling this series. From from 0 to 100, where's your percentage of actually enjoying the show? Because you're watching it. Because you're watching it.
I'm watching it.
Where you at?
I'll put it like this.
Realistic, be real. I want to know, where's your percent right now? I'll give you my percentage first, so you can see, so you can gauge where I'm at with it, because I'm into it, and I'm digging it, and I'm giving this thing my all every week. Early, I'm checking it early.
So what's your percentage?
I'm 80. I'm 80% in.
No,
I'm 80% in, and I'll tell you why I'm 80% in. I'll tell you why I'm 80% in, and you're gonna have to tell me why you're in the percentage you're in. But I'm 80% in because I told you, I always thought that the dramatic take worked. I always thought it worked with the story. I love the Will character. I think he's killing it. Jabari Banks is a beast in this show. He knows how to catch the emotions when the emotions need to be caught. The Jeffrey character, very interesting. Although I'm not a fan of the Lisa dynamic, it's okay. Like it works a little bit, and we'll get into why I don't think it works in a bit. But like parts where it doesn't work, but for the most part, everything is working. I don't really like Carlton, but I'm just curious. I'm curious as to see where this is going to go. So I'm not going to pretend that this thing isn't entertaining me. This thing is entertaining me fully. So that's why I keep coming back, and I keep, I want to do these things and talk to everybody about it, talk to you about it. So 80%, I'm in. I'm committed 80% right now. It's going to take a real amazing turn for me to get to 100%, but I'm 80 in right now.
Yeah, I'll say I'm like a good 44, 45% in.
Oh, you ain't even half?
Not even half.
You ain't even half?
No. Nope.
Yo. Okay.
I'm
why?
still standing on the principles that I feel about this show. I'm still standing with those principles. And the only thing that has me 45%. You know what? All right, no. 46. Let's give it another one. The only thing that's given me that is Jeffrey, and I want to see Trey's relationship.
Trey. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not in.
We're gonna have a big discussion about that one. I'm telling you that right now. Like, do you think 4 was a little wild? Like, we're gonna have a real big discussion about Trey's situation in a bit. But let's get back to 4. All right, so there's some character changes in this thing that we bump into. One particularly, it takes place at the record store. And I know you and I were both shaking our heads like, no. This would never happen on our Fresh Prince. And that's how we got to talk, though. We got to talk like that's our Fresh Prince. Right now, this isn't our Fresh Prince. This is some new alternate reality. One of the guys that commented on my other video, he said this was it feels like a multiversal Fresh Prince.
That's exactly what it is. And a multiverse of madness, Fresh Prince.
In this character change that I'm talking about, it takes place between Hillary and Jazz. First of all, let me ask you this: how are you feeling about Jazz, the character overall that they have?
It's like, okay, I guess he's not the same. He's not the same wacky. He's just a character. That's exactly how I feel about him. He's a character.
I feel like they made him cooler. Like he's like one of the
Jeffrey
coolest
was.
characters.
I mean not Jeffrey, but Jazz was always cool. It's just They put more of a story into him, I guess. He's
I
not.
see. I see. I don't even feel like there's more story. I just feel like they just made him more cooler. Like he's tolerable. Like he's not an annoying, whiny, ditzy, dumb guy like how he was on the show. And the whole they made him so cool that he was just too cool for social media. Like that's how cool
Yeah.
they made him. You know what I mean? Like he was like that so cool guy that he's just off the grid. He don't got time for social media. And then Hillary had to like kind of spice it up for him and get him on social media. So are you happy with him? Are you happy with this iteration, or is that just another ding that you're just not fucking with?
I'm not fucking with it. I told you the
What?
only people I'm fucking with is Jeffrey, and it's
See,
just for and it's just for his, and it's just because I want to know. First off, he's Jamaican, so after he's Jamaican, I'm Jamaican, so that's the number one. I want to know. I want to know more about him. Other than that, I'm not. I'm there for the ride. It's like watching paint dry. You don't want to do it, but you have to just to make sure it's okay.
yeah.
So that's how it is. Like
I mean, okay.
you like this, so you're in this. I'm opposing this. I'm straight. I'm opposing this. I don't like. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't like it.
So you're just watching it just to kind of knock it. That's what it feels like. You're just gonna watch it.
I'm not watching it to knock it. I'm watching it because I want to see where they could have. I want to see that the stuff that they messed up on. They've already messed up from 1 to 4, so I'm trying to see what else they're gonna do. But like I said, Jeffrey seems cool. Jeffrey just seems interesting. Like, and it's so much. I put it like I compare, like I'm saying, I compare this so much to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because of it's so big on me. So I'm just I can do nothing but compare it, and it's not it.
Okay, so let's get to some more serious stuff then, because there are some cool takeaways in this show. No, you can't front that. Although it's not your Fresh Prince, there are some topics that are being touched in here. And one of the specific dynamics that I really enjoy is the double standard argument between Carlton and Will, specifically when they were going door to door, and they were like, Carlton was talking about, these people or those people, and then Will jumped in and was like, well, why are you calling them? First of all, you got to stop calling them those people. Like, do you think that those kind of conversations and topics help this show? Are they too much, or is it serving this show justice, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
yeah. Because think about it. Let me, before you go, think about it. What we're used to was more buffoonery, so to speak. Not, don't quote me. That's just, if I had to compare the two, it would be like, they made everything look like a joke. Everything was la ha 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 ha. But when you turn the coin, a lot of the stuff we were laughing at, we shouldn't have been laughing at. Maybe, you know what I mean? So
it's not that we shouldn't have been laughing at it. It was that stuff wasn't as serious as it was back then. It wasn't as like in your face back then. Like it was stuff you got to think about back in that time. People could laugh like and saying like being proper back then was saying like, oh, they were saying, hey, you're acting a white boy, or you're doing this, and people would laugh it off. Nowadays, when you do that, you can't, like, it's more serious. Times have got more serious now.
Yeah,
that we're going in is that now you're looking at it as different. Like it's everywhere now. It wasn't everywhere back then.
And I don't think that it's like that people are just now getting serious. I think people always been serious. It's just that now, like, we're it's so in the forefront, it's so in everyone's face, or people are tired, we're fed up. We want to be taken a lot more seriously. Topics need to be taken a lot more seriously. But do you think that these kind of conversations hurt the show, or do they elevate the show?
I think that it hurts the show right now because it feels like that's the backbone of the show. I feel like that's what they're riding on. That's since the first episode all the way to 4. that's what's in our face. Like,
See,
let's get into the more of the family stuff. We don't. It doesn't. At least to me, I feel like it doesn't have to be about all about that. Like, let's get into knowing these people. Let's get into they have other problems except for this. Like, let's stop putting. That's just how I feel about it.
no, I hear what you're saying. I'm 50-50 with what you're saying. I enjoy the dynamic between Will and Carlton, where it comes to the double standard thing about race and things like that. Like when Carlton called him out about the N-word, when he was like, "Oh, it's okay for you to say when you're upset and you're about to beat one down," but you were upset when his friends were saying, like, those conversations. I enjoy those because it just caused it just a dynamic of conflict that just needs to be addressed and talked about. I think so. I like that, but I also hear what you're saying when it comes to the storytelling of the show, because it did. A lot of people are saying that it's too much, too fast, too much, too soon. It's very heavy, and we're
Yes.
barely getting to know this new Banks family. And I 100% agree with what you're saying. But let's keep it moving. About we talked about Phil and Vivian, about their we were talking about the flaws and how they both have different ambitions. Like Phil is like over the top ambitious about this political stuff. Excuse me. And you made a dope point when we talked the other day when you were like, Philip wouldn't do that.
Mm.
Like Philip wouldn't, he wouldn't put politics over his family. Our Fresh Prince, if you go back. And again,
Mm.
we keep comparing, but a lot of people are saying we shouldn't be comparing. It's not the same family. It is a different iteration. We get that. So, but coming from where you're coming from, to you, this is more than just a different iteration. You feel like they're like murdering the essence of this show,
Yeah.
especially in this episode, because
Mhm.
I feel like episodes 1, 2, 3 captured the essence. They hooked us, and then 4 just turns off the road, man. It
Yeah.
kind of
Goes
turns off the
completely. Yeah. Completely left.
yeah. It like turns off the road, and we start seeing things about these people that I just don't understand. And then they brought in a boy. Who was that? Was it Michael Healy? Michael
Which
Healy,
one?
the light skinned dude. Or am I getting ahead of myself? The artist dude. Did they introduce the artist guy yet? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, the guy that was in Jazz's.
No. That was Buddy. Yeah, I could be getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
We'll hold out. We'll hold off on that. But I, Jeffrey. Let's get to Jeffrey, because Jeffrey, in this whole mess of family, somehow, some way, is keeping it all together. Like too calm, too cool.
And he's like a special agent. He just pops up anywhere. Like,
Yo, Will gets the phone. Well, this is towards the end, but like in the beginning, remember when Trey was telling Will about about how they knew where he was, and
mm,
and Will goes and he tries to tell Uncle Phil, but you know, G is in the way, and he's like, "Listen, you need not to bother your aunt and uncle with this.
mm.
I'll take care of it. I'll
He's
take
like
care of
double
it,
O 007. Like, you
bro."
take care of what? Like,
It's he
he's
said.
mysterious. He's mysterious.
Even Will said, "You'll take care." What are you gonna do?
Right? Like,
Even Will said that. He was like, "What are you gonna do?" Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm so curious about what Jeffrey is up to. And bro, I'm telling you, when you see what's to come, bro, you're gonna be on the same thing. Like, yo, what is up with Jeffrey?
they should call
What
this
is
Jeffrey.
yo? I'm at this point where I want to see a spinoff of just Jeffrey. I just
Call it
want to see a
the
spinoff.
butler.
I'm at the point right now. That's all I want to see is a spinoff of Jeffrey. I want to know who the hell he is, man. Like, the one scene that really stuck out to me was we were talking about the character changes, and then when Hillary was with Ashley and they were doing the campaign thing, and Ashley went off on her own. She went to go hang out with some friends. There's two things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Ashley, and we're going to talk about Jeffrey. But Ashley, she goes and she's hanging with her friends. some guys, some girls, and they're playing video games and stuff like that. And we noticed a little twitch in her, a little weird thing happens where she was expecting to see a certain friend there, and she wasn't there, and she was let down. This right here was a huge uh, shifting character to me from what I picked up. I don't know if you were picking up the same vibe I was picking up.
I did.
And I don't know if anybody out there was picking up the same vibe that we were picking up. But this is leaning towards possibly some bisexual or type of vibe. Is that the vibe you were getting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's a huge character twist. That's a huge plot twist. Something that I never saw coming. Did you think that with this thing being... What you say?
I said, if it is, it's a huge flaw.
I mean, listen.
And it's not to say, and it's not to say there's something wrong with it. It's just, again, comparing it to the old. It's comparing it to what I know. It's just, it's.
Yeah, I would have much rather them bring in a new character.
They're giving us too much right now. Like we're not able to sit there and take in one problem. Another problem's coming. Another problem's or not even problems. Another issue that we need to think about. Another issue we need to think about. Another issue we need to think. It's just too much thrown at you. And I get that now that you're saying that people are saying too much is thrown. There is too much thrown. I feel like it's too much. Just like let us play out one thing at a time, and then bring in. It's everywhere. We have Uncle Phil's. We have Uncle Phil's campaign. We have, like you said, Will and Carlton. We have Vivian and Hillary. We have Hillary and trying to be an influencer. Like it's just too much. It's too much.
Nah, you're definitely right. You're definitely like that right there. That statement right there hits the nail right on the head of where this show is going for me. And I see it's going for you as well, because I do feel like now that you break it down like that, it's like, yeah, we have Will's situation, we have Will and Carlton's situation, then we have Will and then we have Will
and Lisa's situation.
Will and Lisa and Carlton's situation. Then
we have Will and his dad's situation. Will and Lisa's dad. It's like so much. So
and then we have Carlton and Lisa. Then we have Hillary and Viv. Then we have Viv and Uncle Phil. And now we have Ashley. Yeah, man. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack, especially in the first 4 episodes. And yeah, I just feel like they want us to know everything too quickly or too soon. And I'm but I'm feeling it though. I'm feeling it.
I'm still gonna watch. I'm still gonna watch it. It's just like I'm saying. It's a lot.
It's not giving the show enough time to grow. We know that there's going to be 10 episodes in this season. They need to give it time to grow, give it time to blossom. Like, I wouldn't have cared if they gave us 2 or 3 episodes of Will in Philly.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
And then episode 4 and 5 halfway through get us to Bel-Air. Like, I would have been okay with that, because I honestly think by now, like, we should have gotten, this should have been a prequel series about Will in Philly before he even got to Bel-Air. And then by the time we got to the end of that show, let the fans decide, do we want to see a dramatic take? Because we got a dramatic take of Philly. This could be dope if we got the crossover into him going to Bel-Air on a dramatic take. But yeah, I definitely agree that I feel like that it's too fast, too much, too soon. And you haven't even seen anything yet. But we'll talk about that when the time is right. Overall, we get to the end of this episode because we already the conflict, the whatchamacallit, the politic thing. It's just too grand, man. Like, I want to see just regular Judge Phil. Like, I don't want to see any of that right now. At least it would have been cool to get some of that later down the road. But again,
Like
back to what we
a
said.
season 2. Let's get into the whole politics and everything. Like
How about a season 4 or 5, bro? Like, I just feel like
even then, I would have took it. Even then, it's just it jumped into the whole politics way too quick.
it's feeling more movie-ish than anything. Like,
Yeah,
because there's so much, like, miniseries. It's feeling more miniseries than anything. But let's get to the ending, though, because we're going to wrap this up in a little bit. But let's get to the ending, which was very shocking to me and very disappointing at the same time. Because I feel like that dynamic, that issue that got Will to be transported to Bel-Air, that big cloud over him gets all wiped away. Like,
mm,
what are we to look forward to right now? Like, and like I told you, I've seen the next episodes.
mm.
So I'm still waiting to find out what obstacle is Will going to have to face now that
This
Rashad is
main one
gone.
is taken away.
Yeah, like he's gone. Like I don't understand. I don't understand what the plan is. I'm curious. I'm going in with an open mind. I don't understand why they did that. Like, what?
I think too. I think killing him off like that was a it was a cheap. I think it was a cheap gimmick. It wasn't. It was they. It shouldn't have happened like that. I just like again comparing. It just you never see you like if and I like I haven't seen the rest of them. But if he is dead, you're not gonna get that confrontation between him, and it's not like it's just gone. He's dead. It's over with. That beef is dead. It's just I just think
Yeah,
it's yeah. I don't even know how to put it, but it's like it was a throwaway. It was a quick
too
move.
quick, too quick. I was looking for. I thought that was going to be like he
The
was going to be like
basis
the
of the season.
big, big
Use that as
antagonist throughout.
yeah, or at least for this season, have it be the antagonist. By the fourth episode, the end, you find out he's dead. Like it's like what? It's just I don't. They could have used that a lot better,
Now
in my opinion.
the question, the $1,000,000 question is: do you think Jeffrey had anything to do with that?
He did say that he'd take care of it.
Not only that, you remember the scene where he met up with the guy in the alley, the security guy, and then he
No,
told,
that's I didn't see that scene. I have to go back
yes.
and see. I didn't see that scene.
So there's a scene. I'll paint the picture. There's a scene where he pulls up. He pulls up and he's talking to the security guy, and he's telling him about the Rashad situation. Like they know. He's like, yeah, he's not backing off. They paid him 10 grand to back off, and he
Rashad,
refused to. Yes, and then he's trying to get more money, and Jeffrey's like, I didn't ask him how much more because he ain't getting it. And then he tells the old boy to holler at his family in Philly. Next thing you know, end of the episode, Rashad's dead.
wow, this dude Jeffrey's a hitman. Or if
Bro,
he's not a hitman, he's a shot caller.
bro, I'm like, so I'm like, but that could be like a twist though. Like, did Jeffrey do it? Did he have anything to do with it? Does he know? Like, I want to know. Like,
I have no see, and it's because I didn't see that episode. So, are we getting? Was it Rashad that because you remember when he was outside in this episode? Will was outside and you saw somebody watching him.
yeah, okay, so that's the part you missed. That's the security guy. They make it seem as though it's a Rashad situation. I don't know how you missed
I thought
that was
I thought that might have been like one of Rashad's people or something.
yeah. So I don't know how you missed that because like that was definitely like that was like the part where they show that and then they later on like after the Ashley stuff they cut to uh yeah, I see Miggy Miggs in the building. He said Jeffrey gangster.
Jeffrey's a shotter.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So he has that little meeting with he has that meeting with the security guy in the alleyway. Like they don't even meet in a real place. They pull up in the cars like on some gangster shit.
One going one way, one going the
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Talking through the window, talking about yo,
I'm gonna have
this
to
shit
go
is
back and see that. I'm gonna have to go
yeah,
back and see that part.
it's a real quick scene. It's not like nothing drawn out, but there's a lot of good information about the Rashad situation. That again, like you said, the episode starts like in The Wire. The episode starts in a way where everything that happens in 1, 2, and 3 was like a different a different chapter,
Yeah.
and then 4 is like something else. I don't get it. I don't understand. Uh, they're feeling very episodic. They're not feeling cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
Other than things that happen with Will, it doesn't feel as though it's flowing together. But like when it comes to Will, things carry over.
Mm-hmm.
Things carry over. But everybody else just kind of seems like, okay, this episode ended. This episode starts. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a little jagged for me. It's a little jagged. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got to say about that, bro. Jeffrey is the gangster. I'm interested in Will and Jeffrey. Those are the only two characters I care about. And
Yeah.
I Hillary, yeah, we'll talk about Hillary then in the next one.
God.
you'll get that because I will say this though, and this is no spoiler. I don't want to spoil things for anybody, but episode 5 is my least favorite.
The least favorite?
My least favorite of all of them. My least favorite, and
Um,
I say that with extreme prejudice.
Damn.
It's my least favorite, but it just doesn't end there. But 4, I thought it was okay. It definitely it taught us where this show wants to go, but it still hasn't found itself. I don't feel like it's found its personality. That's where I'm
Mm.
at. Um, for my final thoughts about this episode 4, 1, 2, and 3, I think are great. Put it in a can, ready to go. Captures the essence of what we already know and gives us something new. 4 wants us to believe something. Something is different about this thing and wants to force that new different thing down our throats, and it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. It goes down, but it's a hard pill to swallow for me. I don't know. You got any final words for this before we get out of here? Episode 4, Canvas.
I think 1, 2, and 3. They didn't do the. They just didn't do people justice. Stuff that people really. If we're gonna keep it, like I said, if we're gonna keep it to, yes, this is a dramatic take on the show, but if we're gonna keep their characters are supposed to be still the same people that we know that from the shows coming up. There's definitely some major flaws in people's characters. Carlton doing drugs would never do drugs. That didn't need to be put in. It didn't need to be put
but he
in.
did drugs though. But he did drugs before
Yes,
though.
later on. No, he did drugs because he found it in Will's bag and had no idea that it was drugs. Remember that.
Yeah,
He
but
did drugs. But him casually doing drugs with his friends, no, that wasn't kind of Carlton's friends. Carlton's friend group wasn't that kind of people. Like, it's
fun?
just messing. It's messing with people. It's messing people's characters.
I mean, these are not the same characters, man. These are different characters now, and I'm
Give them
learning that.
different. They give them different names.
I'm learning that now, like from what we've seen from not even 1 through 3. Like I said, I'll take 1 and 3, 1 through 3. 4 introduces us to a whole different Banks family. This is not. This is
Yeah,
not
not
the same.
everything happy and roses and everything. I
No,
guess.
no, no. We're not. I'm not even talking about tone. Forget tone. Fuck tone. It's not even about tone. It's about character traits. Like when you see Hillary flirting with Jazz, that's not the same character. When you see Ashley, sneaking around and unsure about who she is like that, and like that. These are different character traits that are being amplified in a way that we would have never expected.
Exactly. So you have to keep the characters with the characters. Carlton would not be doing the same Carlton stuff that this Carlton is doing. It's complete. This shouldn't be called Bel-Air. It shouldn't be referenced to anything from a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If it was a completely different show, cool, I would be watching it. But do not reference it to what we grew up with, calling it Bel-Air. Don't have it no ties to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's my only thing. Like, have it be a completely different show. You can't, like, you said it yourself. You just said it yourself. The character traits aren't like, it's changing people's character traits. You can't. And you're gonna always put it to what you know. Yes, it's a serious take on them, but those people. You can't look at that Carlton and be like, oh, that's the same Carlton. You can't.
So Miggs is in this thing. He's saying, but Hillary did have a thing for Jazz. I feel you, Miggs. Listen, we've been talking about this the whole time. It's not that we don't want the things that actually happen in the original to happen. It's just that everything is happening too soon, too fast. We're only 4 episodes in, and we've already got the Carlton drug issue. We've already gotten the Ashley dating issue. We've already gotten Hillary and Jazz. We've already gotten Lisa, for Christ's sakes. Like, Lisa?
Yeah.
Lisa didn't show up till like the show was almost over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And Will's problem happened and was solved in 4 episodes. Come on.
Yeah. I didn't like. Yeah, I was hoping I was gonna ride out all the way to the season finale, and then. Well, no, I don't want to say that because that's kind of like a spoiler. But like, I can't wait to talk with you guys some more next week so we can talk about these episodes. I hear what you're saying too. Like, definitely, Miggs. I think that that Ash is definitely trying some new things with her sexuality. Yeah, I mean, overall, bro, I mean, I'm still in it. I'm gonna be watching it. I'm still curious. I gotta know what's gonna happen. So, and I want to know what all of you guys think. What are you guys watching this Bel-Air? Did you like episode 4? What did you think about it? Come down and drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe, of course. Mayhem, let them know where they can find you, man, and let them know we're going to be back here next week. We're going to be talking about this Bel-Air thing every Thursday, every episode. So this was episode 4. We'll be right back with episode 5 next week. Let them know where they can find you, Mayhem.
You guys can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook at Mayhem Madness. All lowercase. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, all lowercase.
Does it matter if it's all lowercase or not? I don't know.
It does. I've looked it up before. I tried if it's all lowercase.
All right, guys, and you know who I am. It's Klepcx. You guys can find me at Klepcx on all platforms. It's the same everywhere, so I can make it easier for you guys to find me. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. For everybody who tuned in, shout out to Miggs. I see you, my brother. Hopefully, I'll get you up on here. I didn't know you was keeping up with Bel-Air like that. We're gonna have to bring you on board so we can talk some more about this. So until next time, guys. Again, like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. I'm going to talk to you all later. Peace.